Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The Curse of Oak Island. The team begins mapping Aladdin's cave below the money pit area. This week on The Curse of Oak Island, the team began mapping the Aladdin's cave cavern near the garden shaft to see if it is a secret chamber holding ancient treasure. The Fellowship of the Dig has pivoted its main focus to investigating Aladdin's cave, a mysterious void or cavern lying at about 160 feet under the surface in the money pit area. The guys had two primary questions. Is there an entrance or exit to the void? And is it a human-made chamber? They began by popping a high-definition camera down a newly drilled borehole, giving a pretty good view through the murky water of a large open cavity. However, there was no sign of treasure or human-made structures. Marty Lagina pointed out there was a lot of silt obscuring the view of the bottom and that it was feasible that treasure might be placed there. The next step was to draw in sonar expert Blaine Kerr, who placed a sonar detector down the borehole to create a 3D cavern map. Sonar detects entrance into Aladdin's cave in Oak Island money pit area. Blaine's big takeaway from his mapping process was identifying a possible entrance into the cavern. This was big news as an entry is essential to any secret treasure chamber. The sonar expert also stated the cavern wall may have been carved out of the rock by humans, but he also admitted it could have occurred naturally. Frustratingly, the cavern floor slopes downward at a 30-degree angle, and the sonar detector couldn't see what was at the very bottom. The laws of gravity dictate that anything buried there would have obviously drifted to the bottom, so the guys will need to investigate more. Thankfully, there's a simple enough solution. The team will drill another borehole about 5 or 6 feet away from the first hole, allowing the sonar and the cameras to see right to the bottom. Unfortunately, viewers will have to wait at least a week for that. A large stone structure found buried on Oak Island's Lot 5. Elsewhere on Oak Island, the guys are beginning to suspect that a couple of stone structures found on Lot 5 were used as a staging area in the late 17th or early 18th centuries for some mass project performed in the money pit area. Last week, archaeologist Jamie Kuba performed a magnetometer survey near the circular stone feature on Lot 5, and she had the results last night. Jamie said an even larger stone is buried under the circular feature, meaning there is a massive structure or complex underneath. The archaeologists are also still finding plenty of artifacts dating to the late 17th or early 18th century period. Last night, they found 2 more artifacts from that time, and the objects matched the chemical composition of previous artifacts related to 17th century treasure hunter Sir William Phipps. Phipps was twice tasked with retrieving treasure from the Concepcion, a sunken Spanish galleon laden with loot from the New World. However, the guys suspect Phipps may have squirreled some of this bounty away on Oak Island. The sun was just beginning to rise over Oak Island, casting a golden hue across the choppy waters that surrounded this enigmatic piece of land. The island had long been a hub of mystery and legend, its greatest enigma being the elusive money pit. For centuries, treasure hunters, archaeologists, and adventurers had attempted to unravel its secrets, but it had guarded them jealously, swallowing fortunes and lives alike. Today, however, the air was thick with anticipation. The Curse of Oak Island team was about to embark on an unprecedented expedition, mapping Aladdin's cave beneath the money pit area. The team, composed of the Lagina brothers, Marty and Rick, along with their trusted crew, had gathered at the drilling site. They had been working tirelessly for years, each discovery bringing them a step closer to the truth, yet still tantalizingly out of reach. The notion of Aladdin's cave had recently surfaced, whispered about in the local taverns and old journals alike. It was said to be a vast underground labyrinth filled with treasures and artifacts, hidden away by whoever had constructed the money pit. Rick stood at the edge of the pit, looking down into the darkness. "Today, we make history," he said, his voice filled with determination. Marty nodded beside him, adjusting his helmet. The team had spent weeks preparing for this moment, utilizing the latest in underground mapping technology and enlisting the help of expert spelunkers and geologists. As they descended into the depths, the team marveled at the intricate network of tunnels and chambers that stretched before them. The air was cool and damp, the only sound being the echo of their footsteps and the occasional drip of water from the ceiling. It felt like stepping into another world, a world that had been untouched for centuries. According to the old maps and recent sonar scans, we should be approaching the entrance to Aladdin's cave, said Dr. Blake, the team's geologist, consulting a digital tablet. The maps had been pieced together from various sources: old explorers' notes, pirate legends, and even hints from historical documents. They all pointed to this location, deep beneath the money pit. The passageways grew narrower and more treacherous, forcing the team to move cautiously. They set up lights along the way, illuminating ancient carvings and strange symbols etched into the walls. Some believed these were left by the original diggers, while others thought they might be the work of later visitors, each one leaving their mark in this underground mausoleum. "Look at this," Marty said, pointing to a particularly intricate carving. It depicted a man standing before a set of scales, weighed down by gold coins. "It's like a warning," he mused. "Or a clue." "Maybe both," Rick replied, running his fingers over the weathered stone. "Whatever it means, we're getting close." After what felt like hours, the team reached a massive stone door, partially obscured by rubble and debris. This, they believed, was the entrance to Aladdin's cave. With bated breath, they set to work clearing the obstruction, using careful precision to avoid triggering any potential traps. It was slow, painstaking work, but eventually they managed to clear a path. The door groaned open, revealing a vast cavern that seemed to shimmer in the faint light of their headlamps. As they stepped inside, their eyes widened in astonishment. Aladdin's cave was real, and it was more magnificent than they could have ever imagined. The cavern was immense, its walls lined with shelves carved into the rock, each one filled with artifacts of unimaginable value. There were chests overflowing with gold coins, jewels glinting in the light, and ancient relics that seemed to whisper stories of forgotten eras. The air was thick with the scent of aged wood and metal, a testament to the centuries these treasures had lain hidden. "Unbelievable," Dr. Blake murmured, examining a beautifully crafted statue of a dragon. "This is a historian's dream." As the team began to document their findings, they realized that Aladdin's cave was not just a treasure trove, but also a meticulously organized archive. There were maps, scrolls, and books, each carefully preserved and cataloged. It was as if whoever had created this place had intended it to be a repository of knowledge and wealth, a secret legacy for those brave enough to find it. "This changes everything," Marty said, holding up a golden chalice encrusted with gemstones. "It's not just about the treasure, it's about the history." Rick nodded, his eyes scanning the rows of artifacts. "We need to map this place thoroughly. Every inch of it. This is the find of a lifetime." With renewed energy, the team set to work, using advanced 3D mapping technology to create a detailed digital model of Aladdin's cave. They documented each artifact, recording its location, condition, and any inscriptions or markings. The process was meticulous, but essential. They knew that the true value of this discovery lay not just in the riches it contained, but in the stories it could tell. As they explored deeper into the cavern, they found evidence of previous explorers, old tools, discarded torches, and even a few skeletal remains. It was a stark reminder of the dangers that had claimed so many lives in the pursuit of this elusive treasure. But it also underscored the significance of their find. They were standing on the shoulders of giants, continuing a quest that had spanned generations. "Here," Dr. Blake called out, pointing to a section of the wall that seemed different from the rest. It was smoother, with a series of strange symbols etched into it. "This could be important." The team gathered around, examining the symbols. They appeared to be a mix of different languages and codes, some familiar, others completely alien. It was a puzzle, one that would require careful analysis to decipher. "This might be the key to understanding who built this place," Rick said, his eyes gleaming with excitement. "And why?" As the day wore on, the team continued their work, their excitement growing with each new discovery. They knew they were only scratching the surface of Aladdin's cave, and that there were likely many more secrets hidden within its depths. But for now, they were content to savor the moment, to revel in the thrill of the hunt and the joy of discovery. As they made their way back to the surface, exhausted but exhilarated, Rick paused at the entrance to the cavern. He looked back at the dark, yawning space that had yielded so many of its secrets. "We're not done yet," he said, a determined smile on his face. "Not by a long shot." And with that, the team emerged into the sunlight, ready to share their incredible find with the world. The mystery of Oak Island was far from over, but for the first time, they felt as though they were truly on the right path. Aladdin's cave had opened a new chapter in their quest, one that promised even greater adventures and discoveries in the days to come.